Jen here. So you are thinking about opening up a Pilates studio. I am here to help you avoid making 5 major mistakes that can cost you thousands of dollars when you open up that studio of yours. I have been teaching Pilates for 25 years and I owned a Pilates studio for 15 of those years. Quite an experience, awesome, but lots and lots to think about. So I just want to help people out that have not begun this journey, maybe just to save you a little time and save you a little money with these 5 tips. Okay, number 1, overspending on equipment. I have seen so many of my friends who have opened up studios, and not just Pilates studios, spin studios, small boutique studios, etc. But let's talk about Pilates. You don't need to buy 20 reformers to get started. Why? 1, expensive. We know how expensive these reformers are. You're talking maybe $5,000 per reformer plus your extra equipment, rings, balls, everything else that you're going to add into your budget that you're going to make prior so that you know exactly how much money you're going to spend. So if you buy 20 reformers, throw them in a room. 1, you're going to need a bigger space, more expensive. 2, would you rather have a brand new studio opening with 20 reformers and half of them empty? No. Why don't you spend less on reformers, maybe get yourself 8 to get started and have those classes full immediately. You can always add more classes later and you can always add more reformers later. Spend less money in the beginning and then you can make your decision accordingly after you get up and running. Number 2, overspending on that Pilates space. This is another one that you need to think about depending on where you live. Do you want a giant space that's going to put you into debt right in the beginning because you're spending all of your money just paying for rent and overhead? So don't forget, you've got things like Wi-Fi, music, instructors, equipment, all those things that you're going to need to pay for, any upgrades, electricity, water, trash. There's so much to think about when opening up a new studio. So how about get a smaller space and you can always move later to a bigger space or expand. Just something to think about. I've had several Pilates studios. I actually had 4 total, all different sizes. One of them was actually too small, and that stressed me out quite a bit too. And one was really big and it was great, but I had to get creative in order to pay for all of the rent on the big space. So I got creative later on, and we can talk about that in a whole nother video on how you can help diversify within your Pilates space to help pay and cover up some of that rent. Just put that in the back of your mind when thinking about your space. Think about parking. Is there parking for my clients outside? Those sort of things. Are the neighbors loud? You don't know until you get there. Number 3, not moving quick enough when you sign the lease. So now you found your space, you signed your lease, and now you're dragging your feet on buying the equipment. What you don't want to do is spend 6 months of your rent and you haven't even opened up your studio yet. So what I would do before you send that magic signature on your contract is I would start preparing what I'm going to buy. When is my opening date planned? Because again, you don't want to spend 6 months paying for rent when the doors aren't even opened yet. So you want to get very methodical. When do I need to paint the walls? Do I need to install carpet or hardwood floors? How long is that going to take? How much money is that going to cost? Do I need to get any permits from the city? All those wonderful things. And you don't want to be doing that 6 months in after you've already started paying your rent. So something that could save you thousands and thousands of dollars. So think about working quicker if possible. Okay, next one. Hiring staff at the last minute. This is a huge mistake. Do not wait on this. You will be surprised at how many applicants might flake on you. They have the best of intentions, but then something happens, or you find people that don't have the right vibe for your studio. So I would start hiring or interviewing as soon as possible. Let them know when you're thinking about opening, interview them, test them out, do what you need to do, and get them ready so that when you are ready to open, they are also ready to open with you. Very important. And remember, all the staff will not stay as much as you hope they will. Something can happen. They get a different job, they move away, they get pregnant. I mean, there's a million reasons why they might have to leave your studio. Maybe it's just not the right setting for them. All those things to consider. So just remember that. Start thinking about your schedule and staffing in advance. Okay, here's the last tip for today. Very, very important. The lease commitment. So we've talked about finding a space, signing the lease, working quickly, but efficiently in regards to having to pay that rent. Because remember, the landlord is going to want your money up front. He's going to want a deposit. He's going to want first month's rent, all that stuff. But another thing to think about before signing that lease is, what if something happens where you would need to move? A common mistake people do in the beginning is find a space, they love it, that's great, but then they go ahead and sign a 5 or 8 year lease. They're stuck in that lease, and 2 years in, something happens. Maybe another Pilates studio opens up right down the street or 2 doors down, and you don't want to be there anymore. Or you outgrow the space, or you want a smaller space. You don't want to be stuck in a giant lease that you cannot get out of. That would be terrible. So think about options with that landlord. Maybe a 1 to 2 year lease with some sort of option on there. You know, just something to think about, because you don't want to be stuck paying thousands of dollars on a space that you are not happy with. For example, one of my locations, it was my second location, I had a restaurant next door that I was thinking, well, that will actually help get me clients because they'll see my space, and the restaurant was very successful. However, what I didn't think about was that the restaurant owner, he was very loud, he was very boisterous, he was drunk all the time. Everybody outside the restaurant smoked in front of my Pilates studio. It was just really terrible. And the space, although absolutely beautiful and perfect, and I loved it so much, in the end, after I had signed a 5-year lease, I ended up leaving and finding another space because there was just these things I had not thought about that were happening. And on top of that, we had leaks in the ceiling, and the landlord didn't want to pay for the leaks, even though it was their responsibility. So really check out your contract to see who's responsible if plumbing problems happen in the future, or leaking, or resurfacing of anything out in the front, or if maybe windows get broken. Who is responsible for all of those things? Very important. Okay, so today that's all I'm going to talk to you about. I think that is plenty to put into your head. Write it down, think about it. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, or if you have any more questions about opening up a new Pilates studio, please throw them down in the comments. I am more than happy to help, and I'm going to be making more of these videos only because I'm seeing the explosion of people opening up Pilates studios, and I'm seeing a lot of questions online about how to do it. I am more than happy to help. I've gone through a whole lot of it, and I like to see people be successful in starting their business. You have a beautiful day, and I will see you very soon. Thank you.